when it comes to investment, especially real estate, it's very important that it is based on what works for you, because everybody's situation is different. Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about how to choose the best real estate investment approach for you. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 4 tips to help you achieve this, because when it comes to investment, especially real estate, it's very important that it is based on what works for you, because everybody's situation is different. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. There are 2 broad categories of the investment approach, and the first one is your active investment and the second is your passive investment. As the name implies, one requires your involvement to be able to get the best out of it, while the passive doesn't require your active investment. That means you're entrusting your funds into a system, even into a company who would manage your investments for you. So those are the broad categories, the investment approaches. So these 4 tips I'm sharing with you would help you know which direction you should lean towards. Choosing the best investment approach boils down to 4 things. It boils down to knowing what is your risk appetite. Now, this is very important because knowing your risk appetite determines what kind of things you should be even putting your money into, even in real estate. It also helps you to set the right expectations when it comes to returns, because we all know high risk, high reward, but at the same time, high risk, high potential for loss. You can't be a low risk appetite person and you're looking for the kind of returns, or you're trying to go into the kind of investment that would ensure you lose your money. Now, if you are someone with a low risk appetite, then you may want to consider active investing, because having real estate as a tangible asset gives you an extra comfort of security. Another thing is, if you are a low risk person and you want to still do passive investing, then you may want to consider something like REITs, which is what we talked about last week as an exchange traded investment. REITs are like shares, are like stocks. You buy shares from it and then you get dividends. So that is also something that is safe for people that are low risk appetite investors. All right. Now, the second tip I have for you is you want to consider your investment objectives. Why are you investing? Are you investing for cash flow? Are you investing for value appreciation? Are you investing to hedge your funds against inflation and unfavorable economic situations? So those are the 3 broad reasons why you may be investing in real estate. If you are investing for cash flow, then even if you're looking at something active, that means you're looking at something that will give you rental income. If you are investing for value appreciation, then it's most likely going to be active, or it's most likely going to be in the physical asset. All right. If you are investing to hedge your funds, it could also be in the physical assets. Even if you are investing in the physical asset, there are still passive ways to earn from it. We went in depth last week or the week before when we talked about co-ownership, crowdfunding and things like that. Those come with some levels of risk. So if your risk appetite is low and you are investing for value appreciation, then you might want to stick to the active kind of investing, or investing in physical assets. Now, the next tip is that you want to consider diversification. Regardless of your risk appetite, regardless of your goal, diversification as an investor is key. So I want to say, for the purpose of diversification, I'm going to take a 2-pronged approach. I'm going to take the investing actively and passively. So maybe if my appetite is high, I may consider having, say, 70% in passive, while 30% can be in active. That's the beautiful thing about real estate. No matter the kind of person you are, no matter your funds available, you can find something. We started by giving an example of investing in REITs, for instance, that requires very little capital. And that brings me to the next tip, which is you want to consider your budget. Okay, your budget also determines the investment approach you would take. Now, if I'm going to give an example, say you have 100,000 naira. I'm using naira because of where I am. So you have 100,000 naira to invest, and it probably took you 2 years to save that 100,000 naira. You don't have to rule yourself out of the real estate investment space. Guess what? With that 100,000 naira, you're good to go into REITs. You're good to go into crowdfunding. You're good to go into co-ownership, buying slots. Okay, now what would now determine which of them you do is your risk appetite. So you see how all of them are intertwined. Your risk appetite will determine if you would put more of that money in an active investment or in a passive investment, even if your budget is low. How do I mean? An active investment could be, there's a plot of land selling for 500,000 naira, and you have 5 friends, or you have 4 friends, including yourself, 5, and you come together and say, okay, let's buy this together. Each of us brings 100,000 naira. Can you see how your 100,000 naira is helping you acquire property? There's a phrase I heard from someone last weekend, and she was like, if you can't own it alone, then own it together. And that's very instructive when it comes to real estate as well. So you can see that at the end of the day, they are all intertwined. Your budget, your risk appetite needs to be considered if your budget is low, or even if your budget is a lot. Okay, so to help you know what direction to face as an investor, if you should use the passive approach or the active approach. So that's it in a nutshell. These are the 4 tips I have for you in helping you choose the best investment approach for you. It has to align with your budget, it has to align with your risk appetite, it has to align with your goals or objectives for investing, and it also has to align with the basic rule of diversification in real estate. I hope you got value from this. If you did, talk to me in the comments, and if you're yet to, please like, subscribe, and if there are things you want us to talk about on this channel, talk to me in the comments, ask me your questions, tell me the kind of things you want us to talk about, and I'll be very happy to oblige you. Till I come your way next time, take care and bye for now.